I'm saying if the Lord didn't make her pretty, how you figure you gonna do it?
They might be winter curtains now, but when that weather break, you gonna be wearing that. They had a little drawstring like the curtains open.
Because you roast your kids, right?
If you're dumb, I need to be the first person to tell you you're dumb. Why would you go out to a perfect stranger? You might not believe him. Dave was yelling in the casket, y'all all right? Don't y'all drop me.
We're not gonna get through this.
Yeah, we're gonna get through it.
No, we not.
I digress.
And be a comedian and a funeral director, it's like those worlds are connected, but most people don't even know that.
But they're afraid to go there.
Right, and who better to do it but me? She look a lot better now.
Right.
But so I don't know which story you want to go with first.
Let's go with the mild story.
The mild?
Let's go with the story about the big booty girl who died. They tried to put her in the casket, but she was sitting like this in the casket because her ass too big.
Had a BBL.
She's like this in the casket because she couldn't lay flat on her back. She's like this in the casket. That might not be true, but it sounds good for the show.
Yeah, because it's like if you got some people, you know what I mean, are voluptuous, overly voluptuous.
Right.
And that's when we have to show them our deep dish casket.
Right. Cut the bottom out.
You got that?
Right.
It's you know what I mean, deep dish. Because you got regular size and then you got to have,
That old punch bowl in the bottom.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Where it basically looked like
pretty.
It looked like a Volkswagen turned upside down. Just a little. You know how people say the earth flat?
They got a moon roof.
Basically.
She got an aquarium at the bottom of her casket.
That's right. This is for all of our decedents with big ass.
Is that true though? Like
no.
But if you got somebody with an extremely big ass and they don't sit flat in the casket, what do?
We make the adjust. Well,
you slice the ass off?
Well, no. See the thing.
Don't eat that lunch meat.
The thing about it is when people pass away,
your body flatten out?
It just kind of.
So they in the casket like a melting snowman.
Why are we talking about this?
Yeah, we supposed to be telling our stories.
Why are we talking
You
about
got
this?
me looking at a melting snowman in this damn casket. Put a top hat on his head. Happy birthday. Okay, I'm back.
Which story we gonna tell, Shaun?
Which camera is mine? So my the first. Okay, I'm serious now. Let me move this chair.
The chair talking more than you.
For real. Jeez. Was this display? This chair sit like a display chair. You can't sit on that. It's from Macy's window. Okay, so my first real experience with death was, I'm serious now, which was the serious camera. So my first,
the serious camera. Where the serious camera at?
No, that's the look. No, my first experience with death was with my Uncle Jerry. So in my family early on, before I was born, my Uncle Jerry was the only boy in the family. My mother had 3 sisters and a brother. So he was the only boy. So he was the baby boy. Then I was born, and then my generation, I was the only boy. I had all my sister, and then I had all female cousins.
Right.
So he was the only, besides my grandfather, of course, my father, but in my mother's side of the family, he was the only male figure, and he was very prosperous. He was a minister in the AME church, big time minister. He also was he was the assistant to Benjamin Hooks of the NAACP.
Right.
So he traveled all over the world. He was a hostage in Iran during one of those Iran crises. He was a hostage over there too.
Wow.
So, he was just like a figure that was just bigger than life to me. And everything that I did had to go through Uncle Jerry.
Right.
And, he got sick. His sickness, it just came out of nowhere. So here's the thing. Let me just move forward, because I don't know where you want me to start with the story, where we're going with it. But
hey, man, this is your floor, bro.
Well, talking about comedy, when I first started comedy, see, and during that time, black families you going to college. And I went to college for a few minutes, enough time to get my my class list and my T-shirt. Yeah. And I left. I said, you know what? This registration line is too difficult. I'm out of here. So I left. Right. No, yeah, they take it too long.
It's 2 people ahead of me. I'm not doing this.
And I went to a HBCU when it wasn't as cute as they are now. I went to the one that looked like the set of Good Times. You know those buildings.
Yeah.
That was yeah. Like the PJs.
Yeah.
That was the dorms in my college.
Hanging in a jar.
Yeah, exactly. But so of course I went to college, and then college wasn't for me. Then as years went on, I got into comedy. And when Uncle Jerry found out, he was angry about it because he was like, because he went to college, he became a minister, he's an executive, NAACP, he's, everything is prestigious.
Yeah.
And he was just set against, he was like, you do that little comedy stuff on the side as a hobby. You go to school and get your degree and, you make something of yourself.
Right.
And it messed with me for a long time,
I heard that before.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
Our families know each other too.
Right.
So
Yeah.
and so we I'm stumbling through my career. These the early stages. So one day he decided he was gonna come to a show, and he came to the show. It was at the Comedy House in Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
He came to the show, and I was
Stomping
headlining, and I was like, I didn't know what to do because he's in the audience, and I had a killer show, great show, and I didn't know what to expect when I came off stage, and he was sitting there. Everybody else casually dressed. He in a 3-piece suit.
Yeah.
That's the way he rolled with with the little pin on it to let him know you part of the NAACP.
That's right.
And all that stuff. So, when I came off, he was like, "Look, I told you about how you should go to college, get your degree and become, something successful." He said, "After seeing you on stage tonight, this is what God made for you. And I'm very proud of you. I enjoyed myself. You're very good at it." And that was the day that I was able to go into comedy full-heartedly because I had the approval of the person, of one of the men that meant the most to me in my life. I had my father, my grandfather, and my Uncle Jerry. You know? So that was the stamp of approval that I needed to go into comedy. Going forward, during the course of my whole career, he became a professor at Edward Waters College down in Florida. When I would do the Jacksonville Comedy Club, he would pick me up from the airport. We would hang out, and I saw the other side of Uncle Jerry that I'd never seen. He was pretty hood, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
man.
how it go. Well, that's how you become a man.
Yeah, man. Well, he just break it down, man. Let me tell you about these bitches. He's like, "Oh, you curse?" Right? Exactly.
Uncle Jerry.
Yeah. So
What about Jesus?
man, he ain't here right now. Man. Hit this blunt. You want to see Jesus? Hit this. No. So we going forward, and I remember we had me and my ex-wife. We stopped we were traveling. We stopped in Colombia for some reason. This is how God put things into perspective, and things happen for a reason. So we were driving through Colombia. We said, "Hey, let's stop by and see Uncle Jerry and Aunt Nita." So we stopped by the house this one time. We were only supposed to spend a couple of hours. We wound up spending the night. And so the next morning he said, "Hey, let me take all you guys to breakfast." And we went to breakfast, and as soon as we got to breakfast, my cousin, his daughter, car broke down. He was like, "Hey, look, I gotta go get Jacqueline. You guys eat what you want. I'll talk to you later." That was the last time I saw him alive.
Mike S.
Tell me, anybody want to tell me?